What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing and breaking down The Flash Season 8, Episode 11. So guys, the episode starts with a flashback to 2012 to Ronnie and Caitlyn, I guess you could say basically meeting each other, or at least getting to know each other, and that was such a cool scene. Obviously, this is Ronnie's first appearance of new scenes since Season 3, so that was really exciting. Obviously, this was taking place during the construction of the particle accelerator, so we also got a little Dr. Wells reference in there as well, so that was all really cool in this scene. But then, guys, back into the present, Ronnie, as the Black Flame, says Caitlyn can save him through memories. And while that's going on, we also continue with the Iris storyline. Obviously, last episode, she quote-unquote killed Phantom Girl's mother, and the time sickness only seems to be getting worse for Iris. Now, what I think really happened is, you know, the Phantom Girl's mother probably was just, like, absorbed into the Still Force or something along those lines, or displaced throughout time in some other year. I think that's definitely what's going on here. But yeah, the Still Force Iris time sickness storyline is supposed to be, like, a main factor throughout the entire season. I've had theories before that maybe that's how Zoom and Godspeed meet each other, through like getting displaced throughout random periods of time. I think that's definitely possible. So then Caitlyn explains to Team Flash that the Black Flame is Ronnie and he wants Caitlyn to save him. Obviously, Team Flash has some speculation in regard to that because, you know, they're like, are you sure the Flame didn't just want you to think it was Ronnie? All that stuff. But then Caitlyn basically confirms that it's Ronnie through, you know, a bunch of science stuff. But then after that, we get a flashback to the Season 1 finale. Team Flash then thinks they can use the Quantum Splicer to turn Ronnie back into human form, which is, you know, another callback to Season 1, which we've had a lot of this season. So I'm really enjoying that aspect of the show right now. But yeah, and like I was saying, we got a flashback to the Season 1 finale, of course, of Ronnie Raymond dying in that singularity, and then, you know, the Team Flash is theorizing on how exactly he could still be alive from that singularity. Now, guys, in this episode as well, we were also sort of continuing with that horror aspect of the Black Flame, as he comes back as Cecile finds out that Ronnie might not want to be brought back, but might want to die instead. Now, we had a great scene with Barry and Caitlyn as well, with Barry comparing Flashpoint to the current situation, just, you know, thinking like, you know, this is like too good to be true. Ronnie can't exactly just come back, and Caitlyn obviously wants to save Ronnie and bring him back. And yeah, once again, we get another flashback of Ronnie after, I'm assuming, Cisco's first day working at Star Labs, just a random fun fact right there, because they mention in this flashback their anniversary, which Caitlyn mentioned in Season 1 on Cisco's first day working at Star Labs. So that was a pretty cool Season 1 callback right there. But yeah, now back to the Iris storyline. So Tinia, or Phantom Girl, whatever you want to call her, gets mad at Iris after Iris, I guess you could say, killed Tinia's mother. But yeah, obviously the circumstances are not confirmed on that of what actually happened. But anyways, Tinia makes Iris disappear. Now, this is obviously some Phantom Girl ability that she has. I don't know if Phantom, you know, is meaning Phantom Zone. I think that would be like a really interesting twist. But yeah, we really have no idea where Iris went. So make sure you guys comment your theories on that down below. And once again, we see another flashback of Ronnie and Caitlyn, where Ronnie proposes, which, you know, was a good scene. But I would have been so disappointed if Ronnie himself didn't actually appear in the episode instead of just him in a flashback. If we only saw him in a flashback, that would have been really disappointing. But yeah, we'll break down more about Ronnie later in this video. But something I wanted to go over in this scene. So basically, we have a flashback of Ronnie proposing to Caitlyn. Now, while they're proposing, or while Ronnie's proposing, I should say, Ronnie and Caitlyn are in this, like, snow forest type of area, but in Season 1, we know that Ronnie originally proposed to Caitlyn near a waterfall, so they kind of changed that up. I don't know if, you know, it's that serious that they need to say that, you know, something like Crisis on Infinite Earths changed that, but yeah, that's, you know, that's different than what we had in Season 1. But yeah, guys, at this point in the episode, it is basically Barry and Team Flash versus Frost and Caitlyn. Now, Frost and Caitlyn, of course, want to use the Quantum Splicer to make Ronnie back into human form, and Team Flash wants to use the Fusion Sphere to absorb the Black Flame so he can, you know, not hurt anybody. So basically, Barry and Team Flash find the Black Flame and absorb it inside the Fusion Sphere until Frost destroys it, and then the Black Flame escapes, and then Caitlyn puts the Quantum Splicer on the Black Flame, and Ronnie is back, which is unbelievable and great to see. So also toward the end of the episode, Sue comes to tell Barry that Iris is missing, and Barry, he kind of looked insane. He was like, oh no, this can't possibly get any worse. But just wait, Barry, it gets a lot worse. Nonetheless, after that, at the end of the episode, it looks like Ronnie isn't exactly Ronnie anymore, and I was completely suspect of this entire Ronnie thing, just right after he was, quote-unquote brought back. I was really suspect of this. I didn't think that he was actually Ronnie, and I turned out to be right. Ronnie isn't exactly Ronnie, as we find out toward the end of the episode. He used the quantum splicer to power himself pretty much, and basically he tricked Caitlyn, and he explains that Ronnie is still dead, and he reveals himself, this new character, to be called Deathstorm. Now, we also saw him in some crazy CGI look that was actually pretty cool as well. But obviously, guys, what you're thinking of right now, the name Deathstorm. Of course, Deathstorm was Firestorm's doppelganger on Earth 2 in Season 2 of The Flash. Now, I don't know if there's like a more comic book version of Deathstorm. If there is, I really haven't seen it. So I'm probably going to do some research after I'm done recording this. But yeah, Deathstorm is this new villain, which I think is absolutely insane. It's another callback to another version of Ronnie Raymond, I guess you could say. Maybe they'll reveal it to be like the actual Earth 2 version of Ronnie Raymond. Of course, he was killed by Zoom, but maybe they can say, somehow Crisis on Infinite Earths changed that, or time travel, or something along those lines. I think that'd be cool to see. Ronnie Raymond is still set to appear in another episode this season, guys, so it's going to be really interesting to see when that's going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be next episode, but what's, I guess, more interesting is going to be how he appears. But yeah, I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out, possibly next episode. And just one more thing I'd like to go over. It's honestly crazy how good an episode of The Flash can be when they bring back a character like Ronnie and focus on main characters like Caitlyn and Barry. This was a fantastic episode. This episode was great. Definitely the best episode of this Black Flame storyline, who I guess is now going to be called Deathstorm, is the main villain. I'm also really interested to see how this Deathstorm could have actually been created, because he said that he was created when Ronnie died, and that basically gave him life. Now, I don't know exactly how that's going to be, how that's possible. Maybe they'll go over that in the next episode, but that's going to be pretty interesting right there. I'm really liking this storyline so far. I think it, the first episode or two, weren't exactly that good because they were focused on side characters like Chester and Allegra, but this episode was amazing. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your thoughts on the episode. What did you guys think of it? I thought it was great. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.